Hello friends, welcome to my channel Way to Service. Today I am going to discuss the Constitution of India. This is the second part. First part I have already uploaded, so please go to the description box. I have shared the link of the first part of the Constitution. In this second part I have tried to highlight some MCQs which will be important for the upcoming civil service examination. So let's solve. So the first question have asked which of the following schedule of the Constitution of India contains provision regarding anti-defection. So the correct answer will be option D, that means 10th schedule. So now make out one thing, that here option A was given second schedule. So what is the second schedule? Second schedule basically contains all the provision which is related to the allowances and the privileges which are given to the governor, president, prime minister and the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court. Now the second one, fifth schedule. So the fifth schedule contains the allocation of seats in the Rajya Sabha. At present in Rajya Sabha there are how many seats? There are 245 seats at present in Rajya Sabha. The third option is the eighth schedule. So the eighth schedule contains all the languages which is recognized by the Constitution of India. For example, Uriya, Bengali, Manipuri, Nepali, Sindhi. So they all are contained in the eighth schedule of the Constitution of India. Now move to the next one. In the Constitution of India, promotion of international peace and security is included in the, so the correct option will be B, that means directive principle of state policy. Now let's make out one thing, that directive principle of state policy contains in the part 4 of our Constitution, and the promotion of international peace and security, it is highlighted in the article, what, in the article 51. Okay, so the directive principle of the state policy contains in the part 4 of our Constitution, and the promotion of international peace and security, it is highlighted in the article 51 of our Constitution. Okay, now move to the next one. The provisions of the in fifth schedule and sixth schedule in the Constitution of India are made in order to what, to protection the interests of the scheduled tribes. So the fifth and the sixth schedule of our Constitution is related to the protection of the interest of what, of the scheduled tribes. It is related to the fifth and the sixth schedule of our Constitution. So the option A is the correct. Now next one. Who or which of the following is the custodian of the Constitution of India? So the correct answer will be D, that means Supreme Court of India. Let's make out one thing, that from article 124 to 147, all these articles are related to the Supreme Court of India. For example, in article 124 it was said that there should be a Supreme Court in India, or the establishment of or constitution of the Supreme Court of India. In article 126 it is related to the article 126 is related to the appointments of the chief justices in the Supreme Court of India. So from article 124 to article 147, all these articles are related to what, are related to the Supreme Court of India. I give here two examples. Okay, one is 124, which said that there should be a Supreme Court of India, and article 126, which is related to the appointment of the chief justices in the Supreme Court of India. Okay, so the correct answer will be D, that means the Supreme Court of India is the custodian of the Constitution of India. Now move next one. See, to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity, integrity of India is a provision made in what, in D, that means fundamental duties. Now the next one, the ideal of welfare state in the Indian Constitution is enshrined in its what, in its directive principle of state policy. And I have told that the directive principle of state policy, which is mentioned in which part, in the part of 4 of the Constitution of India. Now move to the next one. See, consider the following statements regarding the directive principle of state policy. The principles spell out the socio-economic democracy in the country. Second option was given, the provisions contained in these principles are not enforceable by any court. Which of the following statements given above is or are correct? Only one, only two, both, or neither. So the correct option will be 3, that means both 1 and 2. Let's make out one thing. The word socio-economic democracy, which was spelled out in the directive principle of state policy because it provides for the idea of welfare of state, and it also provides the right of children, right of working women, and also tell to minimize the inequality in the income, which was mentioned in article 39 B and C. Okay, it is mentioned to minimize the inequality in the income. It is mentioned in article 39 B and C. So that's why the option 1 is correct. The option 2 is also correct because the directive principle of state policy is non-justiciable in nature. That's why these principles are not enforceable by the court. Only fundamental rights can be enforceable by the court because they are justiciable in nature. But in the case of directive principle of state policy, they are not enforceable by any court because they are non-justiciable in nature. And the directive principle of the state policy contained in the part 4 of our constitution from article 36 to 51. Okay, directive principle of the state policy contained in the part 4 of our constitution from article 36 to 51. Okay, now move to the next one. The Parliament of India acquires the power to legislate on any item in the state list in the national interest if a resolution of that effect is passed by option D, that means Rajya Sabha by a majority of not less than 2/3 of its members present and voting. Okay, now move to the next one. Which of the following objectives is not embodied in the preamble to the Constitution of India? So its answer will be economic liberty. So its answer will be economic liberty. Liberty of thought, liberty of expression, liberty of belief, they all are mentioned in the preamble of the Constitution, but unfortunately the economic liberty is not mentioned in the preamble of the Constitution till now. So the correct answer will be option B, that means economic liberty. Now move to the next one. The next question is, the mind of the makers of the Constitution of India is reflected in which of the following? So it was reflected in the preamble, that means option A. Option A will be the correct answer. See, here option B was given that fundamental rights. Here I was given some additional information. I am giving some additional information to you, is that the fundamental rights which is contained in part 3 of the Constitution and it was mentioned from article 12 to 35. The dietary principle of state policy, I have already told that it is mentioned in the part 4 of the constitution, and it was mentioned from article what, from article 36 to 51. And the fundamental duties, it is contained in the part 4a of our constitution, and it was mentioned in article 51a. Here I am giving some additional information to you. So fundamental rights are mentioned in the part 3 of the constitution from article what, from article 12 to 35. Dietary principle of state policy is mentioned in the part 4 of the constitution from article 36 to 51, and the fundamental duties are mentioned in the part 4a of the constitution from article of 51a. Okay, now move to the next one. Which of the following statements is correct? Rights are claimed to the state against the citizens. Rights are privileges which are incorporated in the constitution of a state. Rights are claims of the citizens against the state. Rights are privileges of a few citizens against money. So the correct option will be C. Rights are claims of the citizens against the state. See, our constitution provides various rights. For example, right to equality, which is mentioned from article 14 to 18. Right to freedom, which is mentioned in article 19 to 22. Right against exploitation, which is mentioned in article 23 to 24. Through these rights, the people can demand upon the state. That's why option C is the most fitting answer. Okay, why we choose the option C? Because through these rights, which I have told, that right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to personal liberty, through these rights people can demand upon the state. So the option C is the correct answer. Okay, so the correct answer is option C. That means right are claims of the citizens against the state. Now move to the next one. Consider the following statements. An amendment to the Constitution of India can be initiated by the introduction of a bill in the Lok Sabha only. If such an amendment seeks to make changes in the federal character of the Constitution, the amendment also requires to be ratified by the legislature of all the states of India. So please select the correct answer. So the answer will be neither. I told you why it is neither, because the amendment of the, if you consider the first statement, an amendment to the Constitution of India can be initiated by the introduction of a bill in the Lok Sabha only, in the Lok Sabha only, in the Lok Sabha only. So it will be wrong in both houses. That means Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Okay, it can't be introduced in the Lok Sabha only. It should be introduced in both the houses of parliament, or either the house of parliament. That means Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. Now if we consider the second statement, if such an amendment seeks to make changes in the federal character of the Constitution, the amendment also requires to be ratified by the legislature of all the states of India. Of all the state of India, it will be wrong. Minimum half states of India. Okay, minimum half state, not all the state. There is no requirement of all the states of India. There should be a requirement of at least or minimum half states of the India. So that's why option 1 and option 2 both are wrong. That's why the correct option will be D. That means neither 1 nor 2. Okay, now move to the next one. Economic justice as one of the objectives of the Constitution has been provided. So the correct answer will be what? Will be B. That means the preamble and the directive principle of state policy. Now move to the next one. See, the distribution of powers between the center and the states in the Indian Constitution is based on the Act provided in the Monumental Reforms Montego Chelmsford Act 1919, Government of India Act 1935, Indian Independence Act 1947. So the correct answer will be Government of India Act 1935. Let's make out one thing, that there are some additional points in the Government of India Act, and they are that the establishment of RBI, which is also mentioned in the Government of India Act. By the Government of India Act 1935, RBI established. By the Government of India Act, Britishers introduced three lists. One is federal, second is provincial, and third one is the concurrent list. At present, we know them as a union list, state list, or the concurrent list. Okay. At that time, that means when the Government of India Act 1935 introduced, the Britishers introduced three lists. Okay, one is federal list, second is provincial list, and third one is the concurrent list. At present, the federal list is known as union list, provincial list is known as state list, and concurrent list remains same. So for example, the international relations with other countries, so this matter will come under the union list. Okay, the law and order. Okay, so any matter which is related to the law and order, it will be comes under which list? It will be comes under the state list. And for example, agriculture, education, they all are comes under the concurrent list. Okay, so remember all these additional points. Okay, the I again highlighted that by the Government of India Act 1935, RBI was established, and by the Government of India Act, Britishers established, Britishers introduced three lists. One is federal list, provincial list, and the concurrent list. At present, uh, federal federal list known as the union list, provincial list known as the state list, and the concurrent list remains same. For example, international relations with other countries of India, it is comes under the union list. Law and order of any state, it is comes under the state list, and the education, health, all are comes under the concurrent list. Okay, so this is the last question. Now I'm going to end my video here. Okay, so I hope you'll like this video. So please like and subscribe my channel Way to Service, and may God bless you all.